on today's show.
Derrick Rose has been found, but does last night's disappearance change his future with the Knicks?
Up down on the Banana Boat crew voting for each other. Rondo being benched on his bubblehead night, and PG's signature shoe.
And 3D joins us live from the Bay to get us all set for tonight's NBA TV doubleheader.
It's Tuesday, January 10th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or joining us live right now on NBA TV or later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tas Melis.
This is going to be a good show.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lee, and last, certainly not least, over there, it's the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! TK, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. And guys, there was a pretty funny moment in last night's Thunder Bulls game. Happened in the second quarter between free throws when Enes Kanter got bonked by an early pass and then proceeded to tee up the ref. Yeah, the rare player giving a ref tee. Of course, this is a revenge tech for last week when Russell Westbrook got teed up after he pegged referee Trey Maddox in the head from quite the distance.
Oink.
Still an incredible throw, and as you can see, Enes had his teammates front even back then. But it brings us to today's question. Who would you like to hit with the revenge tech? Personally, I'm giving one to Shaquille O'Neal for unauthorized beard rubbing.
Ugh.
This happened back in the finals a couple of years ago, and I wouldn't have minded if he would have told me, but this was an unauthorized beard rubbing.
You loved it. You loved it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it against the rules. But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter. Who would you like to hit with the revenge tech? Send us your best tweets to #TheStarters, and we'll hear from you later.
All right,
Nice.
Get those tweets in. We got a fun show tonight. We're going to dive into the up-down report, and Uncle Splash, Dennis Scott, will join us live from the Bay to get us ready for tonight's NBA TV doubleheader action. But first, let's play a little 3-on-3 New York Knicks edition because, wow, there's a whole lot to unpack with this squad. Trey, you got a few cues.
Yeah, and we're starting with the Derrick Rose story, of course. Rose was a no-show for last night's game against the Pelicans, and it was reported that no one with the Knicks knew where he was. Well, he's okay. He returned to practice today after apparently flying back to Chicago for a family issue. He's been fined by the team, and Coach Jeff Hornacek says he's going to start on Wednesday against the Sixers. So here's your question. Does last night change Rose's future with the Knicks?
I wouldn't say that. I would say the cloud that's been hanging over this franchise the entire season just got a little bit darker. It got a little bit blacker. Maybe another lightning bolt shot out of it because it's happened since the beginning of the season where Derrick Rose wasn't necessarily happy with his role on the team. From week one, we sat here on October 28th, I remember, after one game, Derrick Rose said, you know, I want to pick and roll every time down. Carmelo Anthony said, we want Derrick Rose to be Derrick Rose. I mean, there was already a divide between the players and the coach, and this is just a snowball. This is just another notch in the belt. It just doesn't seem to be going away with Derrick Rose. You want to lead. I don't know what's going on with his family, but you want to lead. You want to be one of the best players. You tell your team what's going on.
Yeah, I'm prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't think anyone would just use the excuse of a family emergency to just go home just because they felt like it.
Right.
But you're right, he has to at least inform Phil Jackson at the minimum, just to say, I'm not going to be there, I'm going back to Chicago, I'll be back in the morning, I'll tell you why in the morning. Phil Jackson didn't know, Jeff Hornacek didn't know, so it questions Rose's judgment in that situation, and that could really affect him long term because you think, is this going to happen again at some point?
Of course.
Is he going to bail on the team again when we need him? So his future's obviously not decided anyway beyond this season yet. He's a free agent next season, and the Knicks may want him back, may not. But whoever does sign him is going to look at this moment and think maybe he's just not in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, Derrick Rose sort of has a tendency to make everything a little more complicated than it sometimes needs to be. Either quotes he says or how it's portrayed, and then something like this. Again, you're right. No one, if he had just on the flight home to be with his mother, to be with his family, by all reports, just sent a text, or even had someone, his agent, someone within his camp, let the Knicks know, I got a personal issue, I'll be back as soon as I can, then this wouldn't have been the huge story that it became last night during the college football championship where suddenly everyone's going, where's Derrick Rose? And then suddenly it's like, well, he didn't play the fourth quarter the last couple games.
Yeah.
Maybe he's upset with Hornacek.
Yeah.
Ron Baker's playing. It just became a bigger story than it really needed to be. And where's Phil Jackson in all of this too? I'm really confused by this. He leaves it to Jeff Hornacek after last night's game to address the media, and Hornacek had no idea. By all accounts, I don't know where he is. We had Joakim Noah being asked about it, saying, yeah, I got a text, he's okay, I think he'll be back. Any other team, I feel like an executive the executive, at least the GM, maybe Steve Mills, would come out and say, this is what we know, this is where we're going to go from here. Instead, we haven't even seen Phil Jackson, not only last night, and he was at the game, but today as well. Nothing.
But it has to fall on Derrick Rose first and foremost.
Well, he should have let them know, yes.
Yeah, to talk to his trainer or anybody and then go from there. It's hard not to think that it has something to do with basketball because he's been talking about it the entire year.
Yeah.
He's been talking about he thinks that he's going to get to another level this year, and at some point he's going to be that same elite player, and that there's been this divide in the locker room, and it's just snowballing at this point. And you mentioned, yeah, he's a free agent this offseason. How do you look at the situation and say, hey, we're a sub-500 team, unless there's some sort of turnaround? How do you bring Derrick Rose back to be your starting lead guard if he's not leading?
Yeah, for sure. All right, Trey, next question.
All right, next one. Down 19 in the third quarter last night, Carmelo Anthony went to the hoop, didn't get a call, and was so mad at that missed call that he earned himself not one, but 2 technicals during a break in play, garnering him his 3rd ejection of the season, which currently leads the league. Yeah, Melo leading the league in ejections. Guys, has Melo quit on the Knicks?
I don't think he's quit on the team, but he certainly looked beaten up last night. He looked like he'd just had enough. He'd seen all this all over again.
Did he quit on them last night then?
Last night, I think so, because they've seen this season, like going into that game last night, for example, they didn't know what was going on the road, so things were off to a bad start.
Right.
But this season has actually been promising compared to other seasons of the Knicks. They were in the playoffs, they were looking good there for a while. And then things have just fallen apart again. And I think if you're Melo, you've just seen this same old story over and over again. You're hoping to make some progress. You do, and then you just fall back. He's frustrated. Another loss. The crazy situation with Rose. I think it was just more a situation. He's just fed up with everything right now.
But that's not an excuse, right?
No.
No.
I'm not saying it is an excuse. I'm just saying, though, if you see it year in, year out, game in, game out, like it is with him, it just gets you down after a while.
Yeah, I think he's got to be a leader in this situation. Really, I was down at, we just saw one of the ejections, the Atlanta game over the holiday break there, December 28th. He basically did the same thing.
Well, that was more a spur of the moment type of thing. This one, I mean, 2 texts for abusing the referee is not acceptable.
For complaining.
Yeah,
he was complaining.
That's not acceptable because that's more you have a chance to think about what you're saying. The one against
the Hawks.
The
Hawks.
Yeah, that was more a jostling sort of, maybe a little unfortunate that he got ejected for that. But this one was just more like, I've just fed up. I just got to get out of here.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're down huge.
Yeah.
The whole mess with Rose going on. His team is they're free falling right now out of the playoffs, of course. It just didn't seem like he wanted to play basketball anymore last night. He's like, well, if I complain about these calls, I'll maybe get tossed, and that's exactly what happened. That's not a good look, because they're horrible defensively. One thing, they need Melo offensively to at least try and keep him in games, which he was doing, by the way, last night. And of course, when he's gone, they got no scoring then.
Yeah, we picked a juicy word with the Q word, as in quit.
Quit?
Yes, we picked a nice juicy one. I think that Q word is a little too far for Melo, but at the same time, this whole situation, Melo and Rose in this entire year, I think you're just sort of stagnating Kristaps Porzingis's growth. Yeah, and then we talked about that week 1. I mean, this just has to be a team, and you can't be divided. It just feels like if we walked into that locker room right now, it wouldn't feel like this team has any sort of camaraderie, any sort of leadership. I don't know if it starts from Phil Jackson, but Jeff Hornacek tries to have Melo's back in these instances. When he got kicked out against Thabo Sefolosha, he tried to have his back in the media, but they don't have each other's back in New York. It's a strange situation. I don't know if Melo's just upset because his sort of predominance in the NBA has kind of, wilted down a tiny bit.
Because of Porzingis being a bit more of a breakout star?
It's just his age as well, and how long he's been in the league for as well.
It's a sobering reminder, all this stuff last night, unfortunately, that the Knicks are still the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, really. You said it. They were 14-10 at one point. That was the best they'd been in like 10 years, at least position-wise. Yeah. With Porzingis playing well and some of them jellying and they're getting wins. And now here we are right back to square one with like, oh, man, the Knicks are going to Knicks. That's all they're going to do. All right, Trey, let's keep this going. Next one.
Yeah, an exciting one. From one ejected Knick to another.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle O'Quinn got kicked out of last night's game, too, just a minute after Melo, but his ejection was for a flagrant 2 foul after he pushed Anthony Davis about 50 rows into the MSG crowd. Talk about that hit, guys. Was Kyle O'Quinn's foul dirty?
Yes.
I don't think. Wow.
It was.
I don't think so.
Of course it was.
I don't think that
a guy
warranted
running
a
at that
flagrant
speed, and he came down with his arm and really whacked him and pushed him in the back. A big guy like that, that's a dirty foul. He deserved to get chucked out.
I mean, Trey said it. He pushed him 50 rows, and I don't think he pushed him at all.
Oh, he pushed him. He pushed him.
He definitely pushes him. And
look
at that angle with the arm there as well.
Yeah, forget about the right arm. Lee, you said both arms.
He's hacking
Is this
at the
a hard
ball.
foul?
That's fair.
There's a hard foul.
Flagrant one.
But if that was isolated, if it was an exclusively hard foul with the right arm, it'd be a little different. But there was a nice left push to the back. It was
If
simultaneous.
that's
I've
so
watched
dirty,
it 5 billion times.
Yeah, same here. If that's so dirty, where are Anthony Davis's Pelicans teammates bouncing up there? Where's Cunningham? Where's Galloway?
They do go in there. They
don't go over to
it.
O'Quinn.
Yeah, but they go over
don't
to
do
check on
anything.
him, who got injured and he left the game
I'm
as
saying
well.
when a dirty play happens, usually in the
Yeah.
NBA, the teammates on the floor, especially when it's a star in Anthony Davis, they come running to his defense.
They go to him.
They go to
saying
him. They don't go to him
I
because
don't
they
know.
didn't think
It
it was
doesn't-
dirty.
guys don't run to the defense anymore. They just know the
Well, they should.
They know
Yeah.
the referees are going to eject the player. Flagrant fouls get called all the time. So, hey, the
That's-
refs have Kyle
Look, when it
O'Quinn's
comes-
back.
O'Quinn is not maliciously, in my opinion, pushing him in the back there. He is
he's-
hammering him, no
Yeah.
doubt. He's hammering for the ball.
come
Probably
on.
at least
That left-
As he's going up, once
he is sprinting back
Yeah.
to try and
That
get back.
lefty,
but
that
as he-
lefty hand is
Wow,
shoving.
you guys think he's really
Kyle
pushing
O'Quinn
the
is
ball.
ambidextrous. He can
I
hack
disagree
and
with
he
that
can
one.
push at the same
I know
time.
it's fun to pile on the Knicks right now, but I don't think he deserved the flagrant.
Well, I
definitely-
think the whole thing just snowballed. I mean, he sees his teammate Carmelo Anthony get ejected. They're down 22 points at that point late in the third quarter.
Heaven
Anthony
forbid
Davis,
someone try and play some defense on
That's
the
not
Knicks.
defense.
Well,
That's not defense if you're doing that when the
Okay,
guy's in front
let
of
him
you
give
like
up a
that.
dunk then next time. That's what
You
you're
may as
no.
well when you're down 22. You might as
Well,
well. You've
let's
given
see
them
what
up
the
all
people
night.
think. We disagree on this one. We're all
Follow each other! Follow each other!
Come here, let's not push you. All right. Oh man, we gotta take a break, but when we come back, the Banana Boat crew is back, and they want your all-star votes. We'll discuss that more in the Up Down Report. Back with the starters into the Up Down Report, where we figure out where the four of us stand on some hot button NBA topics. Ask you to do the same at home. Hashtag the starters. Thumbs up, thumbs down. First one, guys. LeBron wants his Banana Boat crew and Melo to set sail to the NBA All-Star Game over the weekend. LeBron, Chris Paul, Wade, and Melo all voting for each other to make the big game. Some people didn't like this look, but you guys up or down on the Banana Boat crew throwing all-star votes each other's way?
is Gabby Union going to be the fifth in that starting five?
She was the one on the Banana Boat,
Yeah.
not Melo.
Chris
you're
Paul
right.
wins out of that because LeBron's got how many million?
34 million
Yeah,
or
true.
something like
That's a
that.
good point.
Yeah, so Chris Paul.
You don't like it?
Great.
I'm not. Listen, LeBron can do absolutely no wrong, and this is all silliness. But at the same time, LeBron leads in terms of being a businessman, building his empire, building his brand. Why doesn't he show us how to vote? Show us the right way to vote for your All-Stars. People just vote for whoever they want. We saw Tony Allen this week vote for Michael Beasley, etc.
I would much rather it be this, voting for superstars who are literally your buddies, than just going through and laughing at names and picking who you're going to vote for. At least LeBron and Chris Paul are worthy All-Star votes, not to mention Melo and Wade are worthy legend votes. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I was going to get mad at LeBron at first when I saw this because I was like, whoa, you're throwing a vote to Wade in the Eastern Conference despite playing with Kyrie Irving, who is right there in terms of votes. And I was going to get upset. But LeBron's so good that a couple days prior, he voted for Kyrie and Kevin Love
how to vote, man.
and Tristan Thompson. So, I can't even be mad. He's like, well, I already voted for Kyrie, so.
Yeah, he's covering all his bases.
Yeah, let me
he's
show
a
some love to
businessman.
Wade. Yeah, that's right.
Republicans buy shoes too, all that.
Yeah, and again, Melo wasn't on the Banana Boat, but he was a part of that trip, if you remember, because there was that famous, I believe Wade blasted the gram, there it is, of them enjoying a fine
Where's
glass
Gabrielle
of red
then?
wine. No, she maybe took the photo.
Yeah, maybe
right,
Melo
right.
took the picture of
Yeah.
the banana.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
That's
Maybe
true.
he just fell off the banana boat.
Yeah.
Great point.
Good point, good point. All right, moving on here, guys. Last night,
A lot of good points.
it was supposed to be a special night for Rajon Rondo. The Bulls were hosting the Thunder, and the game's promotion paid tribute to the team's point guard with his very own bobblehead. One problem. Rondo didn't play. Yeah, his fifth straight DNP CD. So are you guys up or down on Rondo being benched on his very own bobblehead night?
Yeah, the smart thing to do here would have been for the Bulls to cancel the bobblehead night.
Really? I like that
Where
they
did they
didn't
put all those
cancel it.
bobbleheads?
Well, just wait till he's playing him back in the rotation and then bring it out.
No,
Because-
but I like that they didn't cancel it. They,
Yeah, me
said,
too.
they said, hey, he's not playing, he's not playing. We're going forward with the plan.
But he'd missed the last 4 games,
Yeah.
DNP CD. So it's not like it was just sprung on them at the last minute.
You give a man a bobblehead, you give a man some minutes, all right?
Well, who's giving
Well
the man the
said, well
bobblehead,
said.
though? It's not Fred
No,
Hoiberg.
it's the team, and they
Yeah.
probably are picking this obviously back in October when they thought maybe
right.
Westbrook versus Rondo would be quite the
But
game.
it's immovable, apparently. Cannot postpone
Once
the
you lock
bobblehead
it in.
night. Yeah.
You're never moving it. But I think nobody really cares about a Rondo Bulls bobblehead in the history of NBA collector's items. But a benched Rondo Bulls bobblehead? That is a collector's item. It means something now.
You throw that on eBay and get some bucks for it.
This is worth tons of money now.
And he's actually been great since he's been benched. We haven't heard a peep, really.
Oh, I thought you meant that basketball.
No.
He's playing tonight. We'll see.
He is
back
playing
in the
tonight.
rotation
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay, we'll find out. All right, last one here. I like this one. Paul George is getting his own signature shoe. It's the PG1. Nike unveiled the model on Monday in the 2K colorway, which references his love for gaming and his appearance on the cover of NBA 2K17. Now he's going to debut these kicks when the Pacers play the Nuggets in England this Thursday. So exclusive for London, England over there. Are you guys up or down on Paul George getting a signature shoe?
Yeah, I'm totally up with it. I was going to say I'm down with it like in a cool guy way, but I'm up with it in an up-down perspective. It looks like a Kobe shoe to me, and I think that's kind of fitting. Paul George is from LA. He said that Kobe was his Jordan, so give him a shoe that looks like a Kobe. I think it fits.
Yeah, that to me though just sort of looks like a regular running shoe almost. Doesn't really look like a basketball
Well,
shoe.
hold on here, Lee. Because when you look inside the shoe, and I believe, okay, well, that's cool. Like, we got a weird lacing thing there. There he is. So every time you put on this shoe, you're stepping on Paul George's face.
Wow.
Which is a little strange.
That's
Really makes you think.
Yeah.
I think they're real nice. I just don't know how it references his love for gaming.
Well, the 2K there, that photo inside was sort of a 2K thing. Obviously,
it's
on the
going to
cover
wear
of
away,
2K17.
isn't it?
That's
It's
true.
going to wear away when you get all sweaty feet, and like all those insoles always do, don't they?
I think he's probably going to be able to get more than one pair of these.
Yeah,
He'll be
But
fine
if you get
keeping the
them, I mean, if you play one night, you get pretty sweaty.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, you work hard.
So Paul George, the fourth now Nike-sponsored guy in the NBA. LeBron, Kyrie, and who am I forgetting?
Who just got one?
KD.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. All right, quick break here, but when we return, Uncle Splash, Dennis Scott, joins us
Yeah.
live from the Bay. Yeah, he's looking good.
great.
Sharp. Look at that suit.
Welcome back to the show. We got a heck of a fan night here on NBA TV. A doubleheader. Celtics, Raps, the battle for second place in the Eastern Conference. It's Huskies night in Toronto. Looking forward to that. In the second game, Heat, Warriors. We got 3D down in Golden State all night for fan night. DZ, what's going on?
All is good, guys. The city's excited. You know, last time this team was in this building, they didn't look too good against the Memphis Grizzlies, so they're hoping to come back and play better basketball tonight.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something about that Memphis Grizzlies game. The end of the game, Draymond Green had some words for Kevin Durant about the shot selection late in that one. You know, he aired those grievances right on the basketball floor, like Draymond Green does. He was extremely passionate. You know, you were in the league for over 10 years. Is that a good or bad thing when a guy gets on somebody else and really airs a team's grievances, or does it really depend on the two guys involved?
I think it's a great thing, and to your last point, depending on the two guys involved, because sometimes in the game, you don't have time to wait for halftime, wait for a timeout, or you wait for the game's over. You need to nip something right in the bud right away, and I think Draymond's the right guy. And if you notice when you watch that video, KD is listening and he's engaged because he wants to hear the message.
One other thing we watched today was you on Facebook Live. You were talking to everybody out there, 3D, for future episodes of 3D TV and for Game Time tonight. One guy you talked to was Draymond Green, and he mentioned the late game execution aspect of the Golden State Warriors, and he had an opinion on that.
In his opinion, guys, he has to understand when the Golden State Warriors share the basketball with one of the best in our league, but he also talked about they need to stay a little more focused in late game situations. Some people say you guys can be overly unselfish. You average about 30 assists a game, something like that. But then late games, you get a little careless with the basketball. Is that something that you need to work on, or constantly say, you know what, guys, we're overpassing at times?
I think, late game, you just got to be more locked in. You got to execute better. If the shot's there, you got to take it. You can't, overpass when it's money time. You got to go get a bucket and try to close games up.
Another man you talked to was head coach Steve Kerr, 3D, and you guys talked about the thing that they were most worried about coming into this season.
Well, sometimes, guys, when you bring in new faces and you bring in a guy like Kevin Durant, you know the offense is going to flow, but some people wondered, would the defense flow?
It's funny, we didn't think we had shot blocking this year, and we're leading the league in blocks, right? So we lose Bogut, we lose Ezeli. We think, well, we don't have the same rim protection, but we have a different kind of shot blocking team. We got perimeter guys blocking shots. KD, Andre, Sean Livingston, Draymond. So we got an active, athletic team. We can get better defensively for sure. We're still working at it, but again, we're not even halfway through the season. We're doing really well.
All right, DZ, we will see you tonight on game night, or game time, I should say, fan night, game night,
fan
game
night, come
crunch time,
on.
fan night.
Come on, we do it every Tuesday. Stop it. Turn my back on you now.
Don't you dare, 3D. Hey, you just want to show us your suit. You buy that suit for tonight? That's the first time you're wearing that suit, right?
Second time.
Second time. I thought you were like Oprah. You only wear suits once.
No, I wish I was.
All right, we'll see you tonight, 3D. One more break here, but after the jump, we'll see if the very solid play is a little more solid than last night.
Oh, boy. Back with the starters. Oh, yeah, there it is. Time Shaq caressed Trey's beard. We wanted you to tell us who would you like to hit with a revenge tech like TK's doing right there. You hit us up on Twitter, #starters.
Yeah, some funny answers. This one comes from James Carson, who says he wants to give one to Robert Parrish on behalf of my dad, who bumped into him coming out of a store in the 80s and hit the ground hard. Love it. Donald says Lance Stevenson should get a revenge tech for blowing in LeBron's ear. Fair enough. Last answer, though, comes from William, who says Joey Crawford, preferably while he's laughing.
Good one. All right. Keep those tweets coming, guys. Tonight's big play. It's the Blazers at the Lakers. This one available on League Pass. All of us are going with the road Blazers, despite the Lakers playing a little bit better as of late.
They've won 2 in a row.
Good luck to Portland, I guess, for us. Lily, where are we going for very solid play? And is it even a very solid play?
Oh, it is. It's out in Minnesota, but it's the Mavericks here, fizzing the ball around the perimeter for a 3-ball there from Darren Williams. Just look where it starts here from Harry Bow. He throws it all across the way. The Mavs recover, find D-Will, he knocks it down. That's beautiful.
Oh,
that's what I call a very solid play.
That was solid.
Yeah, good stuff, Lily.
Good one.
All right, we had a lot of fun on the Starters Twitter show today. We discussed some recent NBA trade rumors. We played a little All-Star Game trivia, and a listener asked us, what's an NBA quote you use the most? Tass had an unbelievable answer.
Whenever I talk about the Clippers and I refer to Austin Rivers, I say he is the son of a bench boss.
What quote is that, though?
Son of a bench boss.
Oh,
That's a pretty common quote, basketball world.
That's a son of a bench boss.
Oh, man. Son of a bench boss. Okay, I guess that all the time.
Son of a bench boss.
Yeah, you gotta be careful saying that one. Son of a bench boss.
It has now been added to the Starters lexicon. All right, that's it for us tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern here only on NBA TV.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, it's easy to forget, but a point of emphasis this season is a crackdown on facial rubs. Whoa! What is happening?
Where's the night, people? Wow!